So this weekend, a highly anticipated movie was released called 50 Shades of Grey. And although I haven't read the books or seen the movies, I've read a lot of articles on it and have a brief understanding of what the books are about. And basically, it's a man and a woman who choose to enter a BDSM relationship, and the woman loves the man, and then in the end, spoiler alert, she teaches him what true love is, and they have this happily ever after, fiction book. So, so a lot of people are going to see it, and it is intriguing to me. So BDSM, it stands for bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, and then sadism and masochism. So it's interesting that this type of behavior is being readily accepted by a lot of society, in regard to not only the feminist movement, but then also in regard to with what sadistic behavior actually is. So if we have a child who enjoys killing kittens, right, we would have a natural inclination against that. And that's sadistic. So that's the sadism part. It's somebody who gets pleasure out of harming something else. And then masochism is that's when somebody receives pleasure from being hurt. So doing research online and everything else, there's a level of psychology that's involved with this type of pleasure, and a lot of times it's when the person has been abused as a kid. From my understanding with 50 Shades of Grey, it turns out that Christian Grey was abused as a child, and is it Anastasia? She loves him through it. And a lot of people who do like this say it's consensual, it's good, and I have to question that, because from a perspective of, okay, so say for me, I used to be depressed. I used to not really live a wholesome lifestyle at all. And it came to a point where, and I know I'm not alone in this, like people will cut themselves to, it's almost a form of self-punishment. It's a form to feel something if you aren't feeling something. It's like a numbing, if you have numb emotions, you want to feel something. Or that's how it worked for me. Somebody from the outside looking in would look at that and say, no, that's bad, go see a psychiatrist, you shouldn't be doing that, see a psychologist, go talk about it, because that is not good. And I guess my point of view on this would be, why is it that when it's somebody else inflicting pain upon someone else for sexual pleasure, that's considered okay, but then if I'm consensually inflicting pain on myself or harming myself for pleasure, right, that would be inherently wrong. So I'm not saying it should be right or accepted or something that should be promoted as something that is good and wholesome and healthy. I'm saying, where do we draw the line? Talking with men about it, other women, everybody. I mean, it's like either somebody is completely for this, or it's disgusting, it's false, it's fake, and it really is because it doesn't give us the wholesome perspective of love. So when we look at God and we look at the Bible and we look at what love is, one of the fruits of the Spirit is gentleness, and there's nothing about BDSM that is gentle. It's all about inflicting harm and both participants receiving pleasure out of that, which is a psychological issue. Like that, it's not healthy, it's not normal, it's inherently not good. And I don't mean to pass judgment on anyone, but as Christians, for people who believe in heaven and hell, right and wrong, we should not be supporting this movie or going to see it or attempting to participate in actions like this in the bedroom, because it's not what God intended for love. We read Song of Solomon's in the Bible, and it's all about this man who is lovingly adoring his wife and truly respecting her and seeing the fullness of her worth. And in the type of situations that are explicitly displayed in 50 Shades of Grey, it does not promote that. It does not promote the wholesome, loving behavior of what's supposed to be a husband and wife, which in this case they're not married even. It's completely outside of what it should be. So it's an interesting topic. I've heard a lot of both sides, but ultimately it really boils down to, Yeah, there's a level of respect. From my understanding, there's a scene in one of the books from 50 Shades of Grey where Anastasia actually says no, and he tells her that he's going to tie her feet up and cover her and gag her if she says no. So clearly that scene was not consensual, and from my research in BDSM, those safe words are the most important things because it's two people that are consensual and you have the safe words that ultimately boil down to that. So, I don't know. Obviously, if somebody's going to see the movie, you're going to see it, but I won't be seeing it. I won't be reading the books. I've kind of learned through the years that learning from other people's experience is something that can be valued, and I don't have to do it myself. I can smell, I've been saying this to a few people, but it's like, if I can smell poop, I can know that I don't like the flavor of it without actually eating it. So I don't need to read the book or watch the movie to know that it's something that won't be wholesome. Garbage in, garbage out. I can eat junk food and feel like crap, but still survive. Or I can eat wholesome food like spinach and chicken breast and have a more fulfilled, happy, and nourished life. So there's this difference of what we're putting into our bodies, what we're putting into our minds, and what ends up coming out because of that. And we need to be prudent for what we are putting into our minds so that the inappropriate stuff is not coming out. So I'm off my soapbox. That's that. There's a lot that goes into this, I know, and I really hope and pray for this next generation because it's very confusing when things are conflicting and we're being taught one thing and then we don't really understand what's real and what's true, and just understanding, with this whole feminism movement even. I talked about it last week, too. We're looking for equality between man and woman, and here we are with one completely dominating the other with a complete opposing power struggle. Not even a struggle, just power differential, and I don't know if that has to... I don't know if that's why this is all of a sudden... BDSM came about around 1970, 1969 to be specific. I want to say go figure, so whatever. But yeah, so it's just kind of like, I don't understand... Well, I do. People are looking for love in the wrong places. And, as women, hopefully we aren't so emotionally damaged that this is truly what we're looking for and we don't actually receive pleasure out of it. But if so, then it's a psychological issue. They reference it even as a disease in some of these articles that I read, that it's something that's developed. It's not natural. It's not normal. So, anyway, I'm off my soapbox. That's all. And feel free to, on my Facebook page, I post these every week, and then, which you can just search Ali Marie, it's ALI-Marie, and yeah, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. I post every Sunday, so I'll be back again next week, and I hope that this is fruitful and beneficial and not too long. So, happy Sunday. I hope everyone did have a great Valentine's Day, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.